All right, take two. Oh, this looks a lot better. Hey, Facebook world. Tuning in from New Brunswick, Canada. I'm Sonia Lynn Arsenault. For people that does not know who I am, I just got back from a wonderful week in Vegas. So got some exciting things to share here. I'm going to let you guys hop on and I need to share this. So let me see here. Let me see. How can I share this? All right. If anybody's in the group, yeah, I am back. Teresa, how are you doing? Your team is rocking. I'm excited. All right. So if anybody, I really want this. Just give me a second here, guys. I'm gonna check my laptop. I want to share this in the group. So let me know how you guys are doing today, and how's your week going? I feel like it's been forever since I've been doing a live from my home office. So I'm actually going to probably do 2 lives today. I think it's time that I start sharing my story. I'm still hesitant on doing that because it's going to be a hard one for me to do, but I will do it. So, all right, let me just share this in my group because I want to make sure that the team gets this. Thanks, everybody who is sharing it. I appreciate that. This is going to be very awesome. I'm just going to go very quick here. So a lot of people are messaging and asking, how did you become a top rank in your company? How did you handle the objections, the deceit, the pointing fingers back at you? How did you handle all of that? How do you meet the right people? How do you attract leaders? How many times do you guys see that? I'm just looking at my computer. I'm going to look at you guys very soon here. Keep saying hello, everybody. I love seeing that. All right, so I'm going to make sure I'm sharing it here. And then I tried going live earlier, so if it didn't work, sorry. I apologize. All right, perfect. Cool. All right, thank you. Thank you, Debbie. I put the hat on because I've slept so much this morning, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to, instead of trying to do my hair, I'm just going to go and put a hat on. That's usually my tip. It saves me from doing my hair. All I'm seeing is a black screen. So Carmen, it's probably loading. Maybe your internet's not good. Hey Jenny, hey Candace. I'm doing fabulous, thank you. Hey Belinda from the UK. How are you doing, lady? What's up, Dale? Thanks for hopping in. Hello, Paula. Okay, we've got a full house here. All right, awesome. So it's been shared in the group. I've been taking notes because I always get the same questions, and I thought instead of doing a live in my group, I'm going to share this with everybody because some of you may need to hear this. And when I do my videos, you guys know I'm pretty honest and straight to the truth and real talk. So if you're sensitive and if you're in a very negative mindset right now, this may be the video for you. And I always do a warning. You may not like what you're going to hear, but it is what you need to hear. All right, so Kelly's saying she sees nothing. Can anybody see me? I know a lot of people are saying welcome and hello. And then there's 2 people that says the video is not working. So can you confirm that you guys are seeing me and hearing me correctly? So I don't want to just talk in the, in the black space, but maybe get off of the video and come back. But other people that are watching right now, can you guys confirm that you are seeing this and hear me? All right, Jessica said, I see you. Perfect. So, all right, perfect. Thank you. So people that cannot see or hear, just leave and then come back. And if not, the replay is going to be available. All right, thanks, everybody. So, all right, so we will do another training or video for what happened in Vegas last weekend. I know a lot of you want to hear updates, and we had some awesome training with one and only Todd Falcone. We also had a compliance training, which is going to be huge. I can't wait for the real official training for the teams. Things are getting real, guys. Things are getting super exciting, and I mean, the timing couldn't be more perfect. So, but today is about 5 things to do if you're trying to attract leaders and become one yourself, and 5 things to not do. And when I talk about things that I've seen. So the first thing is, and I know this is probably not going to be, I see you, but it's like frozen for me. Okay, so maybe leave and come back, and I apologize for that, but the live replay will be there later. I wanted to talk about books and self-development. 5, 10 years ago, if you would have told me that the books would have been success, my big part of my success, I would have laughed at you, because I don't know about you guys, but after college, my books were like this big, like anatomy. For massage therapy, you have to learn. We did as much anatomy as nurses and doctors do. For courses, it was a 2,300-hour intense course. We have to learn everything. And after I was done college, I said, you know what? I don't want to read a book ever again. I was just so sick and tired of reading. So when I got into this industry and I was seeing people read The Secret and other books, I was like, oh my God, I really, really don't want to have to read again. First of all, I'm French and dyslexic. Second of all, I have OCD, so my attention span is 0. So when I start reading a book, I can get stuck on the same sentence over and over and over. Do you guys have that happen? You're like trying to read and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, squirrel, or the phone rings or something happens. And then you like, oh, you start all over again and it just doesn't get in, right? So I've got these, John Maxwell, How to Win Friends and Influence People, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers, anything Grant Cardone, Gary V, Shailene Johnson, Eric Worre. I've learned a lot from these people. So I'm not telling you not to read books. If you love to read books, read books. But if you're like me and your mind is too busy and you like multitasking, get some audios, all right? Get some audiobooks, okay? So these are from actually Todd Falcone. As you see, number 5 is missing. Number 5 is how to be a better leader, how to grow your leadership role, and that's in my Jeep right now. So audios are the way to go, okay? Not saying not to read. I got a book at convention, at a leadership retreat, a Tony Robbins book. It's like this thick, and I'm excited for it because I'm going to challenge myself to read it. But being French and dyslexic, for me, I know audios are the way to go. So Audible.com is an app I put on my cell phone. I pay $14.99, I believe, per month, and they give you 1 credit. My books are not always about business. A lot of times it's self-development. A lot of times it's about getting unstuck, getting yourself out of the way. Grant Cardone, Gary V are very badass. They may be too real for you, but for me, that's the type of leadership that I needed. I needed to be pumped up. And a lot of people get in this business or this industry thinking that their upline is going to be the one pushing them. Their upline is going to be the one waking them up. Hey, beautiful, how's your day going? You know, how many people joined your team today? And let's live happily ever after. And guys, it doesn't work like that. Your upline is not there to push you and make sure that you do the things. They're there to open the door. I think Mandy posted that today. A leader is there to open the door, but not to make you go through that door. So it's up to you to take the steps and necessary actions and go out there and do it. If we tell you to read a book or listen to a book and you don't, then don't complain about it when you're not learning what we are. So audio is very good. Yes, you know, it saves you money. See, Jessica's done it for a year. I'm actually going to do it. I didn't know it was possible to do the year one. And they even get some deals sometimes. You can get 2 books for 1. So I would definitely suggest get some audios going. A lot of people find them on YouTube also. So that's huge. And let's talk about what to do when you're learning, when you're brand new in this industry. The biggest mistakes that I've done when I got started is I put somebody else on a pedestal. When I had no experience, when I had no money, no success, no results, I started promoting this big guru guy. I remember the first company was all about him, and I posted his videos, I posted his training, I posted his VIP group, I posted everything on Facebook about him. And then people were like, are you promoting him? Or are you promoting, it was travel, are you promoting travel? And I was like, no, we have an awesome travel company, but he's teaching network marketing and how to build. So I was confusing my people by promoting this huge guru that was all about the money, that was all about the hype, and I had people that kind of like, it's not your style. And I was like, I thought I had to promote him to be successful and have other people see me as a leader, and boy was I wrong. Because what happened is some people joined him. Some people didn't like his vibe. They thought he was the big muscle guy. No offense to him. I still learn from him. But what I learned to do after I've lost so many prospects is I went to his courses, his training that I invested and I paid for, and his tools. But then I would put my step on it. Like I would do my own training covering what the biggest takeaway from his were, and then it would position me as a leader. Instead of sending my people to his stuff, then they would come to me with the same stuff but in my own voice. Does that make sense, guys? Like I mean, it's just sometimes people, I think that they think they need the success to get started, and with this company, we've got enough value just within this, guys, ladies, gentlemen. This, okay, and all these little sprays here, you don't need to hype it up. You don't need to tell people things that you don't need to over push. You don't need to over promote. We've got enough value. I'm not even talking about the business, the system we have, the other leaders we have. I'm talking about the product. Okay, I've led with the product, but if you're hyping and you need, excitement is great, but you don't need to hype it up. Okay, so that was my biggest thing. I know I went from one subject to the other, but when you're doing self-development, when you're doing other things from other leaders, it's good to give them credit. I still give credit to that David guy. David, I don't know if you're watching, but man, I've sent you so many leads, but I've learned, and now I've switched things around. And after I started taking your training and applied it to my life, and I started doing my own thing, that's when I was portrayed as a leader, and people would follow me, and even if I didn't promote him anymore, they would still get the same value. Does that make sense? So the second thing that I did was me time. When I joined this business, I started, I was in a depression, I was lost, I was lied to, I was betrayed by my upline. I had team members that quit. It was easy to recruit. I could get people in, but I could not duplicate. There was something wrong. And the thing is they weren't working on themselves enough. They didn't want it bad enough. So instead of pushing everybody away, because I was very aggressive, like I was like, you guys need these. It's going to help you. I know you're always struggling on the weekend. You're talking about you hate your job. And I was going after people the wrong way. I was pushing them away. And I know when you get started in business, a lot of times people can be scared because if you're too excited. So instead I just said, you know what, let's work on me. I worked on becoming a happier me and a healthier me. So while people saw me getting happier, healthier, I started doing karaoke, I started doing some gardening, I started doing things for me, and I stopped trying to get everybody to want to follow me, and because people don't want it bad enough, and a lot of times it's because their limits and their beliefs are stuck into the brainwash world that we were taught. Go to school, work 40 hours, retire. If you're healthy, then die. That, I know it sounds awful, but that's pretty much what we're brainwashed to do. So for me, you know what? I spent a whole summer doing flowers. That was a therapy for me, and I learned. I've killed a lot of seeds. I'm sorry, but you know, at least I tried, and I didn't give up. And I always reference back gardening and network marketing because it is planting seeds. So if you're not taking care of you today, how do you expect to attract the right people? If you're tired and if you look like, I mean, I haven't slept a lot. I slept last night, but I'm jet lagged. But I mean, I still, I'm sure I don't look as bad as I could. But you know, you gotta work on you. You gotta I put some lipstick and a little hat on, and I dress myself up. And I did that for me, not for how people would see me, but it makes me feel good. I have the nice boots on today, you know, like you gotta make yourself feel like you're $1,000,000 because nobody else will. Your upline's not there for that. Your downline's not there for that. Your husband, your wife, whoever it is, that's not their responsibility. Your responsibility is to be selfish about your happiness and bring you first. Be happy. You cannot lead a team if you're depressed. You can't lead a team if you're pointing fingers. You can't lead a team if you're being negative. So work on you first. Trust me, it's a lot more attractive to join somebody. And I know drama gets attention. Don't get me wrong. Some people build with drama and negative, but that's not what I want in my team. So work on you. Me time can be a bath. Me time can be a mommy and son time. I take my son to the arcades for an hour or two sometimes, and that's all it takes. It can be, like for me, I love singing. I can't sing, I love singing. So it can be that. Hey, Heather. Hey, Darla. Thanks for hopping on, everybody. Hey, Belinda. Hey, Shay. I know I'm probably forgetting some people, but I want to try to make this video not too long, but you always have to focus on you, okay? So once I started focusing on me, I attracted the people that also wanted that. So instead of saying, oh my God, this person I would do so great on my team, she's got this, I just attracted these people. So whether I pushed them away by getting better, or I attracted these people that wanted and are working on themselves. Do you see what I mean? Like if you feel so good about yourself and you're becoming a best version of you, you're either going to attract the right people or repush the ones that doesn't match your vibes. Jessica, law of attraction. Yes, definitely. Julie, Sandy, Cindy, Tina, good morning. Hello, Carolyn. We've got some awesome leaders here today. Appreciate you. Hey, Shelly, thanks for hopping on. I've got 5. So my third thing today of what to do is talk to people daily. Even if I had no clue what I was doing, even for 6 months, I promoted no company. Before this company, I let go of my travel one. I realized it was going down. It was like, wow, I don't want to go there. So I stepped out, but I met people daily. For that 6 months, I branded me. I did all these courses. I followed Eric Worre, Tony Robbins. I can name them. I can even name you some MLM Facebook guru marketers that has jumped from company to company that I have seen what they do. I understand, but I won't stoop to that level because I did not want to be the girl that did that many companies. I wanted to find one and stick, like I did with the one that I'm a founding member. I think they announced there's 2 people from this company that are still here except corporate from day one. I'm one of them. 2 people. One of them I think is a 5 or 10K. I'm not sure what rank he is. And I'm one of the top 3 ranks in the company. Not saying because I stayed, because there's people that has stayed and quit and then come back. But because of what I'm sharing here today with you, that's exactly what happened to help me grow to become a top leader. Now, there's things that top leaders needs to do. And talking to people daily. Now, it's a little bit harder for me at almost 500K per month, which means almost half a million in volume, which is a lot more in sales. So we did over $500,000 in sales from our team only, not the company, just from our team, like the last 2-3 months, right? So for me, it's hard to talk to people every day, but I still talk to new people daily. Sometimes it's 1, I won't lie. I'm not going to tell you I talk to 20 people and I don't. Some days I talk to 10, but the time that I was not ranked and I was trying to meet new people, and when your funnel is empty, I was talking to new people every day. Whether it's in groups, whether it's at the store, just like if you watch my video last few days ago, I met people on a plane. They're now on our team and they're rocking it. Just because I had my eyes off of my cell phone and I had my vibe out there to meet awesome people, okay? So you gotta keep meeting. If your Facebook has not changed and you have the same friends and you keep posting and you keep pitching them, then you need to grow more, you need to plant more seeds, okay? And planting seeds takes time. So when you meet new people, don't try to sell to them right away. Create that friendship, create that bond. That's super important. I've got people joining me now that's watched me for 2 to 3 years. So if you think fast, short term, yeah, we got a good comp plan. You can make a lot of money short term, but I'm here to show you the long term because I don't want to help somebody for a month or 2, they make money and then they quit. We want to make sure that you guys and your team is supported and that they actually love the product and they see this vision and the value we have, and to bring that and duplicate that and create long-term success. So if you don't know how to add new friends on Facebook, yes, Scott, it is about adding new friends on Facebook all the time. And you gotta, Wayne Dyer helped my mindset a lot. So Wayne Dyer, I'll definitely look him up. Thanks for the suggestion, Scott. I love it. Tony Robbins, awesome. I actually watch his I'm Not Your Guru on Netflix. That's free. If a lot of people say, well, I don't have money to buy a book or that, there's free resources. You do not need to always pay. Of course, I've paid thousands for courses and classes, not saying they were not worth it. I sponge into everything, but I invested a lot of money in me. I've did the hours, and which brings me to my next post. I just wanted to say, if you have a hard time meeting people on Facebook, we've got in our training site how to reach new people on Facebook, whether it's in groups, whether it's offline. We've got different ways of doing that. We've got that in the training site. But really the next part I want to talk about is the put in the time to gain the experience. If you don't put in the time, and I know some people come in and they want to be the next top leader, but they think it's like they've got 20 people interested and they're going to go and duplicate from there. Guys, it can happen. I know one person that signed up this summer and he brought 2 amazing people on both of his legs, and now the person is ranking like crazy, and that person is an odd person in the MLM industry, because it does not happen a lot, but this is a dream come true. And that person is lucky that these 2 leaders are self-sustained and independent, because they're now growing, and that's huge, right? But it doesn't happen to most people. So you need to put the time in, and I want to touch back on that person. The person probably built connections with these people in the past, so they trusted him. So he had the right people. How do you get those top leaders and those good contacts? Become friends with them. Learn about them. Ask more questions. When I meet somebody, I want you to feel like you can be my best friend. Not my team member. Not that I can make money off of you. That's not the portray I want or the vibe I want to give out there. Because honestly, I'd rather help you make money than think of how much money that I can make off of you. And that's another scarcity or different mentality that I've seen people have in the beginning is, oh, that person won't sign up, so I'm going to miss that $50. If you think of a $50 for that person, well, you're in the wrong mindset, dude. Honestly, you're thinking about you first. Yes, I told you got to be selfish about your self-development, but when it comes to earning and making money in this industry, you need to want to really help others. So what's in it for them? Okay, first, what's in it for you? That's the self-development. But the growing, making money, and being able to help people reach true success in this industry, you need to be able to help them and want them to earn and want that. And it's not just about making money. A lot of people, if you know us, you know our team, our company, our vision is happy, healthy, wealthy. I've been happy, I've been healthy, and now I can be wealthy. If I wouldn't have worked on all these, I would not be able to sustain this. I would not be able to handle the fast growth and momentum that we have. Being a leader that has a team under 300, and now we've got over I don't know how many, we've got over 3,000 in our group, but there's tons of people not being added in the group, and that's not customers. But let's say we've got 3,000 active affiliates on our team. That's a lot of people that comes to my inbox. That's a lot of people that we have to mentor. And sometimes it's not all pretty. Sometimes you get pointed fingers at. We'll talk about that in a bit. So you got to put in the time. I think is it 17,000 hours? How many? Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? To gain experience, to become a pro in anything, there's a certain amount of hours that you need to put in. Now, let me ask you, how many hours have you put in this industry? Whether it's reading books, watching mentors, whether it's going to events, doing lives, posting, connecting with people, have you put in the time? Most people hasn't. And they secretly wish that they would just magically out there get to the top. And it's not that easy, but it can be. But also what's nice about this is that when you work on your business and you put in the time, you're bringing value to yourself. So you're making your self-worth a lot more. And I don't know about you, but being a better person than I am yesterday and even this morning is a huge goal of mine. And you won't please everybody. Okay, so the last part on what to do, and that I'm still struggling because there's just so many succeeding on the team, is about being excited and recognizing people on your team. Now, if I would go and recognize my whole team of leaders, I would just post all about them on Facebook. So what I did, I started a team group fan page. So we have an MDC Bosses fan page, and you guys will see some recognitions going on today. Now, I might need help. I might need an assistant in that, and that's a good problem. But if you have somebody on your team that just got their first sale, give them a tap on the shoulder, recognize them, make them feel super proud because maybe they've worked 2 to 3 weeks to get that one sale, right? Do you remember what that first sale or pre-enrollee or first team member on your team feels like? Okay, you want to recognize that hitting your first rank. I know for me, the 5K rank was a big deal for me, a bigger deal than hitting 500K that I will hit pretty soon. So it is a big deal to recognize the leaders. And sometimes leaders not being recognized, they feel bitter. And even leaders that has not reached the leadership status or those ranks yet. We've got many leaders on our team that are not ranked yet. And rank means nothing in a way, because I've seen some people that are executive ranks doing a lot better than others that are ranked. So it's just a number. But we can go over this. I could go over this subject for a long time, but really you gotta make your team feel great. You got to help them, and sometimes you got to tell them things they may not want to hear. Like this morning, I had to be honest with somebody and say, listen, this is not what you want to hear, but it is what you need to hear. And I was at that point too, when I was pointing fingers and I was blaming and I was telling people, which actually that's my first number 5 for don't. So I said 5 things to do, which is self-development, me time, meet new people daily, put in the time and gain the experience, and be excited, recognize others. Now, what not to do, number 1 is stop pointing fingers and stop blaming others. For like, if you see others succeed faster than you, be happy for them. Because if you're not, you're just bringing that negative energy back to you. If you believe and understand law of attraction, you're going to see you feeling bitter about that person outranking you or going faster than you is not going to be good for you. If you think that the people at the top have it easy now and that they don't care for your success, or that you're just a small little person because you're brand new, or maybe you haven't succeeded and you've been in the company for months and nothing's happening, do self-development. Don't blame your upline for things that you're not doing yourself. I did that. I used to blame everybody else but me. Please, I want to shake you guys sometimes and wake you up. And I know it hurts. I've had days I wanted to slap the person who told me the truth. I had days I felt like shaking others. And it's just, you cannot, no, Shelly's very true. Like, you can't never compare your journey. And that's my number 2. Never compare to anybody else, because you don't know what that person has been through. Most people are taught to share positive only. I was taught to share positive things on my Facebook. I don't want to bum you guys with all the negative this industry brings. That's not what I want to focus my attention on. It happens. Same as a couple. Bad stuff happens, right? But you don't post it all over Facebook. If you do, please stop. People don't care about that, you know? Like, we're in a time that people want to give positive energy, attention, instead of the negative. Let's be the change in this world. Now, if you're comparing yourself and your lack of success is because of your upline wasn't there enough for you, well, I don't know what team you're on, or I don't know what group you're in, or I don't know if you're blind or not plugging in, but I know a lot of other teams in this company, and I know the support's there as much as our team support is there. I know we've got group chats, we've got a weekly, even 2 weekly calls with our teams. We do one-on-one, the Get Started trainings there. The company has its own training and system and back office, and it's just because you're probably not doing the 5 things that I talked about earlier. Mindset development is biggest thing. So if you're stuck at 1, okay, stop pointing fingers, blaming, and if you're comparing yourself to the person that's done this 40 years, that has thousands of people on their team, okay, if I would quit today and I would go and join another company and I would rank fast because I'm bringing my team, how is that a success? How would other people feel? Okay, so think about that. When you got a lot of big networkers, and we're attracting huge networkers because our company is the bomb, okay, and it's gonna keep coming in. So embrace that, be excited, don't be upset. And if you're afraid that they're gonna promote or steal not steal, but sometimes you know people. For me, listen, my upline's the founder. We had a lot of people in common. They joined her and not me. I can't get hurt about that. I had to swallow, and just, these people were not meant for me. My vibe was way out of there, meaning I'm just so cool. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, I had to take it that way. I had to take it saying, you know what? They'll get more value from her. That's what they're seeing, and that's okay. Move on. Don't get stuck on that person and not join my team. Can't stay there and cry all day. And I had to learn that, and it sucks, but it happens to the best of the best, right? So you have to really think about that. So when you see people coming in and having fast success, be happy for them, learn from them, and don't ever compare. Don't ever feel bitter, because if you feel bitter about it, you're not helping yourself, your team, your future prospects. Okay? Good. Now, give attention to what you want and not what you do not want. If something wrong happens and you can't change it, ignore it. I know it sounds awful. If an order hasn't arrived and I can't do anything about it, I can't cry about it. I'm not going to go bitch on Facebook about it. I can't contact customer support 20 times about it. You have to use the proper channel. And if you're crying 2 weeks because of an order, then you wasted 2 weeks of your time, your team, your prospects, and your life. You know what I mean? So, and I know, and I'm not saying I don't care. I really do care, because I wouldn't be a top leader in this company if I would not care. Top leaders usually are people that cares a lot about others and they want to help. But as you grow and you've got thousands on your team, you need to learn to ignore the noise. You need to learn to give your family the time, give you the time, give your business the time. If there's issues to work on, you can try, but you can't spend your whole day sucking about it. Okay, so does that work for you guys? Do you guys understand where I'm trying to go? And you got to be responsible for your own business. And then don't give attention to what you do not want. Law of attraction. Focus on value. All right. Shelly says, I message the ones and congratulate them on joining Hempworks and wish them the best on their success, even if they haven't joined my team. Yes, and you know what? It happens, and I had people join somebody else, and then they reached out to me, and they're like, I wish I would have joined you, and you know, and a lot of times people get hyped up, and that brings me in my next point. When you hype things up, hype dies. So sometimes if you're all excited and you keep hyping it up, what happens when the hype dies? Okay, it's good to be excited, but I don't feel we need to overvalue, we don't need to overhype what we've got, especially when the person that does compliance works with 75 other MLM companies and she says that we have the best product out there that actually works. It's hard to not make claims about this product when it actually works. Okay, so think about that. We don't need to pretend. We don't need to lie. How many people do you see selling weight loss and they're fat? I'm not trying to be mean, but how many people do you see that happening? Or the lady that sells makeup and doesn't even wear the makeup herself. Or I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just trying to be realistic here. You be real, be who you are, share value, and then people can make their own decision. But it's about educating people and get them to do some research. And I did a Zoom webinar the other day to help people, and they're not even on my team. That's awesome, Scott. And that's another thing that when I got started and I hardly had anybody on my team, my first upline brought 80 people in this business, and he put me in Zoom calls, or they were Hangouts back then. He put me in Hangouts all the time, and he edified me as a leader, even if I wasn't even close to being the first rank. But he stepped away and he was secretly building another company. So I started doing trainings and they weren't even underneath me. So I ended up working with them. But what that did though, it gained my experience as a leader. I learned so much. These people helped edify me as a leader. And some of them, they quit the business and then they came back a year or two later and they're joining the team now, because that upline's long gone and he would do a lot right now if he would have stayed. But for me, I did trainings for tons of people, and that's why I do this. That's why I do my live on my own Facebook wall and not in my team group, because I know there's a lot of other team members that would love to hear this and they might not get the same training from their uplines and vice versa. I've actually reached out to many leaders from this company, and we're going to start interviews. We're going to start sharing what they've done, because maybe some are doing blogs, some are doing email marketing, some are doing just Facebook. Others, it's cold market. And we want to hear from those that has reached the success in the top. And if you want to learn from others that are not your team, maybe they're not your upline, maybe they're not in your company, I wouldn't go and post them all over your Facebook. What I would do is I would get on their trainings. There's a snowmobile here. All right, okay. It's my father-in-law. He's going to do some maple syrup. Shh. So we've got some maple syrup in the making here, so pretty awesome. I'll show you guys how we do that someday. I totally lost my train of thought, but yeah, if you're going to share, and that's why I feel that it's very important, because I've seen many of my teams share some trainings from other leaders and their links was on it, and I'm like, wow, like you're sharing a link to sign up to somebody else, and what if that person doesn't know and they sign up underneath them? So I'm just trying to protect everybody here and share my mistakes and what I've done. And there's ways, like you can definitely edify others, and you definitely should give credit where it's due. But make sure when you got brand new people on the team, they're not making the rookie mistakes. They're not pointing fingers. They're not doing self-development. And we actually force people to get self-development. We're doing a 90-day challenge. And by the way, we're maxed. I've got so many people. There's 80 people trying to get in that group right now. I apologize, guys, but our group is over 200. We are going to keep it at that for April. I appreciate the demand and the love. And what we're going to do, we're actually going to document everything and send it to you, our team or not. We will share with you guys. I know some people are like, keep this for our team. But no, I'm not that leader. I'm the leader that I was helped when I had no upline. I was helped when I had no team by other leaders. And that's who I am. So I believe that doesn't matter who your upline is. You definitely have lots of value to learn here, and you got lots of awesome leaders that you can learn from. I know my team learns from Megan all the time. Like they're all like watching her videos, and she does great. She's helped so many people go out there and do some Facebook lives, and I'm not going to shout out everybody, but there's so many great leaders out there in the company that are helping us, even if they're not on our team. So do you guys understand like these points, how important it is? And Emily here is asking, any tips on duplication? I joined a month ago and have enrolled 68. Wow, that's awesome. And just hit 5K. Well, congratulations, Emily. I mean, that is wonderful. I'm curious how I can attract leaders as well. I know law of attraction is the way to go, but just curious if you have any more tips. Well, yeah, pretty much I don't know if you just hopped on, but the 5 things that I went on at the beginning is definitely something that you want to work on. Congratulations, because that doesn't happen all the time, that people come in and have these big numbers. So pat on the back for you. And definitely, I would just say you want to get your team excited. You want to get them on the product, because the product does definitely speak for itself. And do a launch, whether it's an online launch, whether it's a team group fan page, whether it's local, do something, launch it, record it, then use that and duplicate it. That's what our team's going to be doing this week. There's no opportunity call tonight, so we will make our own team opportunity call under 20-25 minutes. We're going to record that. No links attached to it, so anybody feel free to share it. We're going to go over the opportunity overview products and just make it simple and easily duplicatable, because if you have to explain everything yourself and know everything, you're complicating it too much. Just keep it super simple, like they say, KISS, and you can just go out there and really watch what the top leaders are doing for sure, but we all have our own little different ways. I know that some are very good with technical stuff, and I'm not. We're big on lives. We're big on YouTube. I've got a lot of people signing up because of YouTube. Our team has a newsletter set up. When you join, you put your name in, and then you get emails for the first 3 weeks educating you on how to invite people, how to pique curiosity, what type of post to do, objections, and the pay plan, like educating you on things that you may not be able to learn the first week when you join. And then after that, we've got a team YouTube channel that we're using. everybody uses that because there's no links. So for me, I created that. I know we reinvented the wheel, but for a year or two, we didn't have the tools that we have now. And now the company's coming out with all these awesome tools, which is making it a lot easier for us to build, especially online, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I would just say plug your teams in, have a weekly meeting or call. We've got a leader on our team, Teresa McVetti. I think she's 25K, probably going to hit 50K. I hope I didn't miss out the ranks, or did you hit 50K? But if she's not, she's going to. And she does a weekly team call every Thursday. Every Thursday, whether there's one person or 30 people on it or more now because their team is crushing it. But she does that. And that to me is the definition of a leader. People show up every week at that time. And she's there for her team for questions. What are your gains this week? Where you're struggling at? How can we help you? And that's just been amazing. I do a lot of one-on-one because all the team leaders, it's just, there's so many people. So I think this may be another training or another live because I know that I'm over my time. And I wanted to do one to share my story too, because I think a lot of people think that I've had it easy my whole life, and I didn't. I think a lot of people only saw what I was portraying, because I was portraying a lot of the positive and not the negative and not the struggles and not the days I wanted to say screw it and quit. And I think I need to go over that, because I think a lot of people, if they only see the success, then they may think, well, it was easy for her, and then they feel bitter. And I don't want you guys to feel bitter about your uplines or anybody that's successful, and that comes back to the mindset. We're all here collectively trying to do the best, service others, responding to the boom that is being asked for, and the boom is helping others feel good. Congratulations. Yes, Shar is totally right. And it is hard to adjust as a leader because your team grows so fast. So another thing is, when people want to join me now, I was asked yesterday if I still recruit actively. I still do. But when somebody comes to me, I make sure they know that I am busy, not saying I'm too important for them, but saying that I've got thousands of people. I wake up with 100 inboxes some days, and I just want to shut it off because I don't know who to answer first. My 25th level, somebody else's team member, the person that wants to pre-enroll, the new customer that has a question, the upline that wants to let me know about this, the team member that's upset about that. Who do you answer, right? And it's a good problem, because 3 years ago I was like, how do I get my inbox filled up? How do I get so busy that I don't know who to talk to? So I brought it up to the universe. But when you join top leaders, you got to understand that they may not be there to hold your hand as much as I would have 3 years ago. So that's why we've got the team tools, the group chats. I like and don't like group chats, but some of them are very great. The groups, the websites, and we've got so many resources. And when you join, if you look in your success coach, you've got 3 uplines that you can reach out to. So if your upline's missing in action, they quit, or they're not your vibe, you don't need to quit the company and join another team. I wouldn't suggest that. I would suggest to work with your uplines, reach out. Do you know how many people reaches out to me and say, I've never heard of my upline? My uplines never invited me to your group or to the company group. So you really got to make sure that people know that they can reach up, because the ones that are successful at the top will help. I'm sure if you reach other leaders, and if you're from our team, they should be helping you. They should be putting you back to where, like, the tools. And I mean, the tools are there, guys. It's how bad do you want it, and to go out there and apply it. So then we've got somebody that asked about any suggestions on what app to go through for team calls. I would say Zoom is the best one right now to use. I know that keeps changing a lot. Zoom is pretty cool. You can do a screen share. You can have other people on. You can record and then load the link and put that on YouTube. So Zoom is very good. And then Lori, I'm going to look into how introverts can rock our home business. Lori, I used to be an extrovert my whole life. And then I think trauma and a lot of things that happened to me made me become an introvert. And now I'm like, I want to hide. This morning, I'm tired. I'm jet lagged. I did not want to do a live. I was like, let's just sleep in a little bit more. But I'm like, no. And I started reading messages. I did a little bit of self-development, and I changed my attitude on how I felt. And I just did it. I'm doing this for you guys. it's helping me, but I'm doing this for them. So if you're an introvert, just think that you are doing it for others more than yourself. Even if you're stressed, even if you don't feel, and I'm sure once you do it, you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so happy I've done it. And it feels so good. And people are going to message you and saying, thank you for that message. So don't be afraid. And introvert is hard and I'm an empath. So sometimes I get so much, oh my God, I'm gonna cry, and I cry. I watch kids' movies. I sing karaoke. I cry like crazy. So it's okay. And I think CBD makes me a lot more soft. But you need to let it go, because I used to hold everything inside, and that's not good. That would come out in like me blowing up, and so really you need to be able to let that go and know when to step back, know when to go and take time for you, and I try not to get on calls when I feel like that. Like yesterday, if I would have done a live, I probably would have bored you and pushed you guys away. I probably would have cried, because the whole 14 hours, no sleep, the time zone difference, the excitement mixed with the everything, and me not working. Well, I was working every day, but not available as much as I was for 5-6 days. It gets my team anxious. My team is like, where are you? I need you. And you're needed a lot. So you have to really work on you, and self-development is the best thing. Find where you're grounded. For me, it's nature. Nature grounds me. I can look outside right now and I could get teared up. I can go and make myself go down to a level of calmness and zen just by looking outside. So take a picture of something you can focus on. And yeah, being an empath is very hard, especially if it's negative energy thrown at you. And even payday, today's payday, we're going to have people crying in the inbox, so excited for the money they made. And I get teared up. Last week, I wasn't crying for my big check. I was crying for my team's big checks. I was crying for them, and it's just wonderful. So I guess it can be like very good, and then it can be a little bit hard when you're an empath, introvert, extrovert, right? And I read go on YouTube and look for introvert, extrovert leadership. I don't remember what it was, but I started reading about it, and it was helping you step out of your comfort zone and do different things. But you're allowed to let your team know. My team knows that sometimes I do not want to do calls, and you're allowed to say no. You're allowed to say, and you don't even need to justify. Just say, today won't work. I've got this time. I felt so bad for not being available for a 3-way call, but really I would have had to put my lunch on the side, or my time with my family, and then my energy wasn't there. So you are the leader, you are in charge of your own life, and you can definitely go and say no to people, and then schedule them when it works. I'm not just saying like let's talk in a week, but I'm just saying you gotta really put yourself first, and that is hard, and you're probably gonna get fingers pointed at you and saying you don't care. And that happened to me. I was told that because I'm at the top right now that I couldn't care less about the small people at the bottom, and it did hurt. It pinched me, I won't lie, and I was like, I would not be at the top if I didn't care for people. So I kind of have to brag myself back up and change how I felt about that little comment, and understand that I felt like that too when I was at the bottom and struggling. I looked up and it looked so easy for others, but they were just showing the easy side and the positive side, and I didn't get to see that where they were struggling. So that's why I'm sharing this so much with you guys, not to scare you away, not to be negative, but to let you guys know it happens to everybody. And I wouldn't be truthful if I wouldn't be sharing all of this with you. Now, today was a real talk training or live, and then the next will be a lot more positive, because I know, Cindy, and you know that I care because you know me, but people that may not know or may not show up on team calls or get to know, people, sometimes it's hard. And when you're having a bad day, it's very easy to point fingers and get bitter at people and say, I don't care, right? Time to surprise and delight yourself. Clarity is fun. So definitely, and have a vision, have a clear vision. What do you guys want to do? Maybe you don't care to be a top leader. Maybe you just want to help other people. So what's the message you're sending out there? What are you promoting? What are you posting about? If you only want to help other people feel good, then don't get into the whole network marketing, trying to teach people to be network marketers when really all they want is to feel better. Don't force a customer into being a network marketer. Don't force somebody that wants to come in and that's brand new into become the next Eric Worre. I mean, that takes years. That takes lots of time. No offense to him. I've done his courses, get 30 people in 30 days. I've watched the women's networking event. They were actually in Vegas last week, and I can't believe I missed that. But just being truthful and honest here, you want to know what they want. Ask them questions. How do you know what your downlines want if you're not asking them questions? Which, another way of duplicating, you were asking that earlier about the duplication. Ask questions to your team. We got a questionnaire now when somebody signs up. Answer those questions. You'll know what their passions are. You'll know how much money they want to make, what their experience is. Are they in multiple other businesses, or are they solely focusing on this one? How much money are they generating now? Are they coming in for the fast start? Are they coming in for long term? What are their big dreams? What could they do if they would have no financial issue right now? So the more you know your team, which actually Donna, our compliance lady, gave us a questionnaire that we, the leaders, have to send to her. So our company will get to know the leaders more. So, and I think that was genius, because a lot of times when you get too big, you don't have time to get to know your teams that much. So if people go in and follow the system and they do that, then you can say, all right, so I know this person is motivated by this. It's documented. So when you talk to them, you can go back and say, all right, so how's your goal of this? And how much time have you done? And you can go back to what they said. Because a lot of times people say things, but they don't mean it, or they want things, but they won't work for it. So I hope that today was valuable. Due to poor wireless connection, which I'm paying for, I need to talk to my cell phone provider. I just took my Wi-Fi off because my Wi-Fi wouldn't work, and now this is my home phone, or my cell phone telling me that. So I guess my 4G is not working, but it's okay. It just means that I need to end this video and get going, because I do have 2 calls to make with some people that are super excited about joining this business. And then it is Thursday, so we will be doing more videos. Today and tomorrow, I will be interviewing people. You guys are going to see me interview some downlines, uplines, crossline. I might even interview people not even from our company. So the reason I want to do this is I want to show diversity. I want to hear from others that are doing it, how they've done it. And I want you guys to hear from other people, because I can go on and on and on talking about what I've done, but it's not just me. There's a lot more people that are succeeding, and there's not only one way of doing it. That's what I love about this vehicle, is that you can build it however works for your lifestyle, and I want you guys to hear about that. So thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate you for being here. You can share with your teams. You can give some love, and if there's anything in this that you feel that you want to comment on or you want to add, feel free. I will read the comments in a little bit after my next call. So thanks for hopping on. Again, Sonia Lynn from New Brunswick, Canada. I'm putting up my story very soon. I will try to go live. I don't want to cry the whole time on camera, so it's going to be hard for me. But I think it's time that you guys get to know a little bit about me and where I'm from and why I'm doing this, because I think a lot of people would see me a lot differently and be like, oh, okay, now I understand why she's like that and what she's doing. Why? Yeah. So it's time. So thank you everybody. I appreciate you all for watching. I'm sending you some big hearts. I really appreciate you all. And tomorrow's 420. So 420 is the time that we educate people on what CBD is and what cannabis is. Both wonderful things for different reasons. Both have amazing benefits, but you're going to see a lot of interviews tomorrow on the 420. So with that being said, have a beautiful day. Happy, healthy, wealthy is the way to be. Bye guys. And again, I love you all.